Good morning, everybody. So this morning, I am going to be talking about a little piece of AI that is, it can be frightening, but it can also be very useful. So what it is it's actually a Chrome extension that you'll find on your LinkedIn. So you can add it to Chrome. Right here is the little icon for it right there. It is one of those free apps. You know, you get a limited number of use of the free app for a while. Um, CrystalKnows is the name of this little life hack, and it's spelled with a C, Crystal, knows as in Knows, not your nose. Um, what it does, and this is the scary part, so hang on to your chairs. It takes your digital footprint and it does a disk assessment of your digital footprint. So if you're not familiar with the disk assessment, I highly recommend you familiarize with yourself with that. It's been a life changer, a business changer for me to understand the way other people think and operate in the world, because it's very different than I think. It's just like when Mike talked to us earlier this spring about people's communication styles. But the DISC assessment is another one of those personality styles, and it's more about how you operate in the business world. It is a little bit about communications, but I'm just going to run this on my good friend Paul Benton, who is here in this meeting right now. I thought it would be much more meaningful to do a demonstration on somebody who is actually in the meeting. So I'm going to let Crystal do its thing. It's spinning around. It's reading Paul's information on the internet. And then there's a number of icons right here. So what this little tool does, you know, if I was talking to sales professionals, this is almost a must. It's something that they really need to have. If you're going to be doing cold outreach to people for the very first time, the insights that you can get from CrystalKnows are pretty amazing. Oh, here we go. So now it's searching and going to give me some results. Here we go. So I'm looking at this first little icon right here. It's going to give me some insights into Paul so that if he was a key prospect of mine and I was going to be doing some outreach to him and wanting him as a client, it tells me how to do some of that outreach. Paul tends to enjoy adventure and freedom with a high tolerance for risk and not much patience for rigid structures. So very revealing right from the get-go. Um, he is, if you're familiar with the DISC scale, he's an initiator. He's kind of in between the director and the influencer, which is precisely where I'm at on the DISC scale. So that's why Paul and I get along so well, is because we are very similar in some of our thinking. So if I need to have a conversation with Paul, it gives me choices so that I can make a sales pitch, to negotiate, to make a good impression. Let's look at that. Let's get some advice on what CrystalKnows says that I should do. Um, I should say things like, let's talk things through. Are you feeling good about this also? This is a little embarrassing, but what's the most important thing here? These are some of the conversation tools that I could use so that I'm really hitting Paul's values and his interests. So here's some quick do's and don'ts. So I want to match his high energy. I want to ask bold questions early in the conversation. I want to tell a self-depreciating joke of some kind. And I want to speak with confident language so that I'm heard. What I don't want to do is use a quiet and reserved tone or to speak softly. If I get upset, that he might get upset if I'm a few minutes late. So I really want to avoid that. And I don't want to sound hesitant or passive. So it tells me I really need to take a strong tone if I'm speaking with him. So there's lots of other pieces and parts to this whole report. So if I wanted to send him a message, um, this will this will actually give me some suggestions on how I should get in touch with him. If I want to send him an email, it will give me some suggestions of subject lines and that sort of thing. But there you go. That is CrystalKnows. It is the creepy little piece of AI that you can use to reach out to people and make a very good first impression without knowing who they are at all.
That was freakily accurate, by the way.
Awesome. Thanks for the validation, Paul.
That is crazy. Now, I have a question before you're done. So you said it's a Chrome extension, but
yes.
But you were showing it in LinkedIn.
It's a Chrome extension that works in LinkedIn.
Got it. Okay. Now I understand better.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
It also can work in Gmail. If you have Gmail, so if you're typing to somebody, it will offer you some suggestions as you're typing, and it'll say this person really would prefer these words, and it's super helpful there too.
Yeah,
wow.
That's a little freaky.
Oh, that is really crazy.
I warned you.
Do you download this the way you would download any other
any Chrome? Yeah,
Chrome extension?
Okay.
And it does work. They do have versions now that work with Foxfire and with Safari.
Okay.
But it works best in Chrome.
Wow. I'm speechless. That is amazing, Angela. Thank you so much.
Angela, you have to download the app?
It's a Chrome extension. So you go to the Chrome store and type in CrystalKnows and it should come up. The really freaky thing is I've used it for a number of years. And so I've actually done it to 10 life coaches and done their profile for them. And they're like, oh my gosh, do they have cameras in my house? It really, they were like, no one has ever nailed me that accurately. Wow. It's really kind of freaky.
That is very crazy. Well, Angela, that's invaluable information. Thank you so much for that.